Hello, I'm Mayor Michael P. Londeau. Twice a month, the Westland City Council meets at City Hall to conduct the regular business of the city. They go through the agenda and discuss items as needed, and then vote to approve, deny, or postpone each item. The purpose of this program is to shed a little more light on some select items that were brought up at the meeting. So on this edition of After the Gavel, I will be going into detail on a few things from the June 5th City Council meeting. The first real order of business at our City Council meetings is the approval of the consent calendar. In most cases, all of these items are approved under one motion and they are not talked about individually. That is, unless a council member asks to have the item moved to new business for the purpose of discussion. There were a couple of unique items that I wanted to go into a little bit more detail on. The first was a request from local resident Rachel Reeves. Ms. Reeves and a neighbor are planning a neighborhood block party on June 24th, and we're asking for permission to add a few items to the party. The event will now be allowed to include having a food truck on site along with a live band performance. This is exactly the kind of thing we need in our neighborhoods. It's so great to see community events like this being organized by members of the community. This is a great example of neighborhood pride at its best. If you are interested in doing something similar in your area, please contact the City Clerk's office at 734-467-3185. The next item was a contract extension for a professional services agreement provided by Bocelli Group. We have been working with this contractor for quite some time, and this is a renewal for 3 years with a 2-year option after that. They provide a number of services to our building department. Bocelli employs some of the top people in the state to perform inspections to make sure Westland homes and buildings are up to code. This involves electrical, mechanical, building, and plumbing inspections. As a side note, I want to point out one of the sections of this contract, which by the way can be viewed in the City Council packet that is available online. Section 11 states that the company must use fair employment practices and not discriminate for any reason when it comes to hiring. This is very important to me as mayor, and also to our City Council. We feel that it is very important that the contractors and companies we do business with are as committed to fair employment practices and diversity as we are. The last item that I want to talk about from the consent calendar had to do with the Presbyterian Village of Westland. Like many businesses, they were hit very hard with lost revenue due to COVID. In April of last year, the City Council approved $1.5 million of American Rescue Plan Act dollars to be used for affordable housing and senior care. Presbyterian Village will now be using this money, along with $10 million of other capital sources, to develop a new PACE program on their property. PACE stands for Programs for All-Inclusive Care for the Elderly. This grant will allow the organization to serve a greater number of older adults in our community. Moving on to new business, the City Council approved a motion to hold a closed study session on June 19th. Many of the study sessions are open to the public, but occasionally there is a need to hold a closed session. This is normally because there is a legal matter being discussed. That is the case for this meeting. Our city attorney will be presenting information to the council about the settlement strategy with the co-located marijuana facilities on Cherry Hill. When the legal proceedings have completed, we'll be able to share more details. The next 3 items on the agenda were all separate but related. All 3 had to do with union negotiations with our public safety personnel. After some discussion, the City Council approved new collective bargaining agreements with the Westland Lieutenants and Sergeants Association and the Westland Police Officers Association. Both of these agreements will be in effect through 2027. Through negotiations, both sides came to an agreement in regards to pay and other benefits that will bring our department in line with others in the area to allow us to keep the excellent people we have now and to attract the best candidates going forward. There was also the acceptance of a letter of understanding with the Westland professional firefighters to allow for a change in the wage tables and prior service credit steps. The highlights of all of these documents are also available in the online meeting packet. The last item of business was the approval of the city budget. The City Council approved the proposed 2023 through 2026 budget that we presented to them. This 3-year balanced budget brings back leaf pickup, introduces a sidewalk replacement program, allows for massive road improvements throughout our city, makes some major infrastructure upgrades, and of course, supports our police and fire departments. All of this is to provide a level of safety, security, and service that the Westland residents expect and deserve. Going backwards a little bit, I want to congratulate the group of young people who were recognized at the beginning of the meeting. These 5 graduating seniors were the recipients of the 2023 Westland Fire Department scholarships. I would also like to congratulate all of our graduates this year. Whether you're receiving your college degree, a high school diploma, or even graduating from kindergarten, it's a big step. Know that the City of Westland is proud of you for all the work you put in, and we can't wait to see what the next generation of leaders to come out of Westland will accomplish. The next Westland City Council meeting will be held on Monday, June 19th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of Westland City Hall. The public is welcome and encouraged to attend. You can access the complete agenda packet for the meeting by going to our website, cityofwestland.com. Thanks for joining me for this edition of After the Gavel, and we'll see you next time.